going off,
yes.
And we get to roll out 1 minute and 8 seconds it will be before the quick wave will start to spawn, and then this game really does get underway. Of course, in saying that, we've seen so many first bloods, the bloodlust coming out before that's even started, and let's see what happens around this time.
Again, we are in a LAN environment. The players can hear us, so keep that in mind when watching this cast. We obviously have to stay away from calling out strat calling, as you like to say, and calling out the obvious of, oh, here's one's a gank, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, hey, we heard that. So, obviously, we have to stay away from that, as you saw last game as well with all the conquers that happened. So, definitely keep that in mind. But, so the laning phase, as always, going to be interesting to see how it goes about, because, honestly, both teams, they don't necessarily have a set, obvious strategy. They really don't. It's going to be interesting to see how they go about it, as, obviously, both of them moving around right now, and now 25 seconds and counting before the game officially starts, before the bells ring and the runes spawn, of course.
Yeah, that it definitely is, because no one will really show themselves at this period until you're literally getting ganked or there's some sort of initiation coming off, because all the teams, obviously, this time is it's easy to move around. There's no creep waves, there's no real pressure that gets applied to you by the other heroes, so it gives you that time to have a look around. Where do we want to gank it? Of course, is there a tri lane? Is there a quad lane? Are they running 2-2-1? You're just never quite sure at this point until they get shown, and the creep waves force you to actually show yourselves. That's literally what happens. The creep waves will push themselves out, they'll push towards the towers, and then you go from there. So there's only so much time you can look around, and I think we actually saw the little bit of first looks up there with I think Chipper and Bubbles exchanging glances over a rune. So so I don't think they will be chatting each other up. In fact, I'm pretty sure they have a desire to kill each other at one point. But you will wait for it. So now we can see the first bit of our lanes. Vindicator shows himself down there in the bottom lane, as we were kind of expecting. Thunderbringer also coming up at the moment. So
interesting.
Very interesting lane down there on the bottom lane, going up against Flint Beastwood all by himself. You go for the dual lane in the middle, Hammerstorm as well as Chipper going up there. And who are they going up against? We've seen Pebble showing himself up there in the mid lane for just a little bit. Head up towards the top, and it's Solo Sandwraith going up against Bubbles. And wait for your time to shine. That still leaves actually now one hero left unchecked, with Witch Slayer showing himself up there in the bottom lane.
Well, so this is the interesting thing. As I said, it's going to be interesting to see how both teams go about it. The Hellborn team, they went with what we expected. However, they went with the tri lane in the long lane. Honestly, you may expect that, though, with the Flint Beast to be in the range that he has. And with that said, I honestly think they were expecting the tri lane to be top, so they set up in a 1-2-2. But it just so happened not to work that way. We do see some rotation perhaps going on. So, but very interesting on the Legion team. I mean, obviously with the Vindicator, Thunderbringer, you never see that. Right now, Thunderbringer is down here currently doing his thing with the farm. You see Vindicator and Hammerstorm now in the middle lane against this Pebble. So, we are seeing the swap. And, of course, Chipper goes up to the top lane. Now, Chipper playing a babysit role, not something, again, you see too often. You would expect it to be a Vindicator, but in this case, they're going with the Chipper. He does have a very good auto attack, and obviously he can harass quite a bit with the rocket. On top of that, as well, in fact, the focus buffer is a very good ability to use. I mean, just at level 1, it absorbs 150 damage. And that's a good amount for, obviously, right away early on in the game. And, of course, if you level it up, it gets eventually to 600 absorption. So you're talking about an excellent babysitting style tool in that. So that's going to be something to keep in mind as well throughout the early to mid-game, especially as it goes on. So right now, no action just yet, of course. We're now 2+ minutes in, still no Bloodlust kill. We have the 2-2 lane going on here in the middle as Hammerstorm and Vindicator going up against this Witch Slayer and Pebbles. Of course, the double stun on the Hellborn team, definitely very deadly, and they would more likely look to initiate on the Hammerstorm with that said, as Vindicator cannot, of course, stun himself to prevent it. So we'll see if they do choose to. If I had to pick action anywhere, of course, I would have picked the middle lane.
Yeah, you wait for it. In we come, finally, Behemoth. Fidget's on the wrong side. Fidget's on the wrong side. They do get the stun on Vindicator up on the side. Pebbles goes for the toss. There's no anything having come through, and what a great AoE stun. That's where you want to get Hammerstorm out, but you're talking just before that actually happened, and Vindicator casting right on top. Nobody has any more mana. Pebbles is on the front line going, yeah, cool, I might be able to go for this one. Hammerstorm almost got his hammer throw off cooldown, and Pebbles is forced back. He can't stay close. If they go for the initiate there, they might even come up with something. Bit of harassment coming from Vindicator, but it's not really going to come off there. They're going to be happy, but avoiding that Behemoth fissure. How important is it to actually get that down? And it was on the wrong side.
Oh, again, we talked about this earlier, I believe, in a previous series with the EG. B-Kid, known as one of the best Behemoth players in the world. It's not too often you see him miss an opportunity like that, but at the same time, it was just a very good reaction between Cindermelons and Purify here in the middle lane for Ice, and they just reacted in milliseconds, and they were able to stay on the other side of the fissure stun, and as we saw, resulted in actually a good getaway, and almost honestly turned around. Behemoth actually got low himself, and you see that, by the way, Sage's sword just being spammed by Vindicator, causing a lot of issues. Thunderbringer the bottom lane. Got caught down there. The Fisher Star comes out. There's a flare, slowing him down. Thunderbringer in a lot of trouble. Doesn't look like he has support nearby. He's going to try to run away right here. Oh, he gets a health potion. He gets it right away. He is still alive. Unbelievable. Fisher Star will not be up for Behemoth. He does not have enough mana. Can he stay out of here? Flare may be coming. No, he's going to survive. Great surviving there by Thunderbringer. Excellent timing with the health potion. Using it perfectly and staying alive. So 4 minutes in now at the middle lane. There goes one stun. No mana on Pebbles, however. There's a turnaround for Hammers with the sun on the wish there. Couple more auto attacks. There we go. Bloodlust go for the Legion team. Now Pebbles trying to run away. Again, that Sagesaur on top. They might actually. No, Hammerstorm choosing not to dive. Ooh, that would. I don't know about that. He honestly might have. He has boots, even has galvanized, but he chose not to dive. Obviously, his sticker was more than likely that support was nearby. Obviously, it's a little bit easier for us. We can see the mini map, but. Oh, he very likely had a kill right there. Yeah,
it would have been very, very possible. Because you can look at the other way. Apart from the regen rune actually being taken by Pebbles, he tried to actually use it, but Vindicator right on top of it doesn't allow it to work. Pebbles thought, I can just pick up the regen rune, it'll be fine. I don't have to move themselves back. And even then, Hammer might be thinking it takes longer to walk back to the base, regen up, and then move yourself back out. Might even cost you a TP to actually do so. So sometimes, even actually not getting a kill is a good sign as well. And, Pebbles can't be the powerhouse he has been before. But we have seen so many times. I don't know if it was from Chew, it was actually from the Malaysians when they played Pebbles, to be able to run in there with 20 HP and back yourself with the stuns. He can do that. He has the burst damage. He can drop you before you can even get one attack on him. So Pebbles is very, very powerful whenever you see him, but with no mana, he is literally just a big rock.
Well, touching on that too, again, that all goes back to Vindicator. We did mention the aura and how effective that would be against the Cellborn team, but we didn't mention it was the Sage's lore and how honestly really effective it would be against the Cellborn team in the laning phase, and we're seeing that right here. Pebbles and Witcher both, they constantly just have very little to no mana. As a result of that, I mean, Pebbles, neither one of his abilities he can obviously use. He wants to save the combo to, initiate or defend even, but he cannot do it because he's forced to either, more than likely, chuck, obviously being the lesser mana cost, or actually it's the same mana cost, but he has to either chuck or Stalagmite and at least put some damage to the creep aid, maybe try to catch somebody, or else that Sage's Lore is going to take down both life and mana. So that's obviously been an issue here, and the fact we see another Sage's Lore going out, he just cannot keep his mana up. He does have a mana battery, of course. That's pretty much obvious item. Yeah, he does have them bottle of Behemoth throwing out a Fisher Stone. He steals the Infistor, and they happen to spawn right there as soon as Hammerstorm and Vindicator were heading up there as well. So excellent ring control right there from B-Kid.
It's not really going to help him. Like, you got that Invis, but he can't do anything with it bar give Fissure because he can't have enough mana for a Fissure. So it doesn't even matter if he's walking around with that one. He can't lock him in place, and that's where Behemoth loves those Invis runes. He can get himself up on the high ground, throw down the Fissure, lock him in place, and let the rest of his team actually do the work. But while he's there, he can't really do anything, and that's the biggest problem that he'll actually be facing. He can land a hit, but that's all. But when you're coming up against Hammerstorm and Vindicator in the middle lane, there is not a lot that's actually going to stop him. You still got the stun, you still got the ability to suck all the mana out of him, and damaging. Oh, even Flint Beast where the flare goes up. He was thinking about going, and Pebbles for once actually has enough mana to use the spell.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah, I'm sure he's excited about that. Finally has enough mana to actually use one of his spells, but still, it's only one. Again, Pebbles is a hero that he relies on the combination. If he can't combo, it definitely really hurts him quite a bit. Actually, at the bottom lane a little bit, we saw Flint Beast chopping pretty low. Again, that's that burst damage we were talking about at the very beginning. Jaw especially, this is the third time we've seen him play Reason. I believe we saw him play it a couple times in the semifinals. He loves to play Thunderbringer, getting initiated on the right here. Ultimate from Bubbles coming in. There's a silence, and an easy kill on a Thunderbringer. It's either lack of communication and just a great gank right there from Bubbles. As we, again, Flint Beast was taking a bit of pressure, but Bubbles came in to clean up, set up the kill on Jaw, and just like that, we're tied at one hero kill apiece. Yeah,
slight overkill actually there from Bubbles. He didn't need to drop the ulti. It held him in place there, but his Song of Sea was more than enough to actually do the rest of it. And, overkill, won't have that for a little bit. Mid lane now getting yanked off here. Vindicator stuck up there. Witchslayer throws him up in the air. They do actually get done. It was the ultimate coming in from Thunderbringer that did bring him down while he's being done by the tower. The tower would have actually got the kill, but he wants to steal it. Behemoth now showing himself in the mid lane as well. Pebbles up to level 6. He's got to keep those levels up. We've talked about it so many times. Chipper actually comes in. Oh, Thunderbringer from the side. Behemoth Fissure. It's not going to be enough. It doesn't stop Chipper. Even Chipper just firing off a rocket in celebration of the death. But it does come out with Behemoth dying after that one gank in the middle. 3-2. 3-2. We once again see Ice in front.
Yeah, and Chipper is actually, he's obviously level 5 still, but will be level 6 soon, and that ultimate obviously caused a lot of issues. But again, you know, despite all that action in the middle lane, been very, very active, but what it's going to come down to is how the farm looks on both Flint Beastwood and Sandwraith. And as you can see, Sandwraith, his farm up here, honestly not too great. He hasn't been doing that great of a job. He's had a somewhat of a tough time against this Bubbles. And despite Chipper honestly being up here for the most part, so Bubbles really deserves a lot of credit for his gameplay so far. And his farm is actually looking good. He has a level 8 already. I mean, he's really been doing a great job, of course, being played by Dodo here. Definitely a player that maybe doesn't get a lot of the respect that he honestly deserves, because he plays these heroes that, you know, kind of quiet a lot of the time, but doing a lot of great things and definitely shutting down Sandwraith. He's going to initiate right here. The focus buffer is on the ultimate from Bubbles as well, locking him down. The finish stun comes out. Absolutely nowhere to go for Sandwraith, and an easy kill for the Hellborn team. You see 4 players all exposing themselves out of nowhere, and Sandwraith just gets picked off. So Hellborn team, they know that Sandwraith cannot get out of hand, and they are making sure of it with another hero kill, or with the hero kill right there.
Yeah, that's a lot of resources to commit. Like, obviously, you want to lock that Sandwraith out, and by committing 4 heroes, you're taking 4 heroes out of lanes to actually do that. Like, you've been having a solo player on the top lane. Bottom lane, Thunderbringer's able to still free farm it out here. Vindicator's having a very, very easy time up there against Pebbles in the middle lane as well. There's a lot of areas where the tension gets pulled off. You do get the gank there on Sandwraith, but you've got to keep tabs there. You can't allow the other heroes to actually get OP as well, because if they get themselves farmed up, everyone in Ice, and this is the way Ice likes to play, they like to actually have every single hero make a contribution. It's not just the fact of, oh no, your support, you're going to come out, oh, Bubbles, one stun, rocket,
oh, panic Q.
Could he?
No, gets taken out.
He's a dead shell.
Obviously what I mean by panic Q, the Q button, the shell surf ability, and he spammed it unfortunately, and so it hit it twice right away.
Oh, Thunderbringer
at the top lane, the tower is also low. Thunderbringer with the blast. Flint Beast, a money shot attempt. The focus buffer is not going to be enough absorption on Flint Beast. Will drop as well, sacrificing his life at what cost right there. Behemoth now trying to run away from Sandwraith Illusion and Hammerstorm. He will be going down. Sandwraith picks up the kills. He ports in, and now Witchslayer in a lot of trouble himself. He is pushed way beyond the tower a little bit too far. They're trying to find him in the jungle. Will they find him? Can he port out in time? Oh, they're still looking around. Is it going to happen? Anything? Can they get the vision?
They can't.
Oh my God, there goes Sandwraith, and he will get a kill. A double tap in the end for Bryce right there on Sandwraith, and they're also going to deny the tower. Great comeback fire right there from the Legion team.
You know, the funny thing is, Hammerstorm saw him then, and it was just like, I don't want this. Let's give it to Sandwraith. It's like, you're not going to go anywhere. You have no TP. He had no items whatsoever. Let Sandwraith do 1 hit, 2 hit, and all comes off. We're going again on top. Sandwraith getting ganked with a tier 1 tower. There is no pressure. Vindicator trying to keep it off here. Bubbles ulting, holding Vindicator in place. He can't run any further. He will get stunned. Pebbles in the middle. He's running away. He doesn't want to get stunned. There goes the toss. Dies in the air. Lies on his back. And Lord does actually go down.
The Vindicator aura came into play there. Bubbles wanted to ultimate Sandwraith, but because the aura, he was not able to, because he silenced after he used his silence ability. So we are already seeing it come into play, and you know, sure, he sacrificed his life, but that's what a Vindicator does. He's a support player. If he's going to sacrifice his life to save a hero like Sandwraith, by all means, it makes it worth it. So right now, it's a 7-5 hero kill advantage in favor of the Legion team, 11.5 minutes into the game. So as expected, again, as well, action really picking up here, especially, you know, this Hellborn team, they're set up. You just expect movement and all over the place. Speaking of that, that starts with Pebbles, really, and Bubbles as well, which we haven't seen him move around. Well, Pebbles, he's starting to get up there as well. He's level 7, obviously taking a lot of Sage's lore harass.